Hey, Abbott, what time is it?
It's 8 o'clock, Costello. We're on the air for PDQ Gasoline here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello show.
It's the new transcribed Abbott and Costello show with their new singing discovery, Susan Miller and Matty Melnick Orchestra. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
Well, here I am, Costello. What are you so happy about?
Well, it's wonderful here in California, Abbott. The sun is shining, the flowers in their bud, the bees in their honey, the cats in their honey.
Wait a minute, Costello. Cats don't have any honey.
No? Then why does our cat stay out until 4 o'clock every morning?
Look, never mind that. What are you doing with that knife and that gun stuck in your belt?
Abbott, all California drivers carry a knife and gun. What for? So they can shoot up one street and cut down the other.
Well, you better drive carefully tonight because it's New Year's Eve, and the streets are very crowded.
You're telling me? Coming down here, a girl, she blew a horn right in my ear.
So what?
Took me 2 years to get it out. Our whole family is going to stay up until midnight, Abbott.
To welcome in the New Year?
No, none of them have worked in a year and a half, and they want to hear what a factory whistle sounds like.
Well, I suppose they'll all be celebrating tonight.
Oh, indeed. All but my Uncle Mike. Aunt May made him sign the pledge. It was as easy as a twist of the wrist.
Now, how did she do it?
She twisted his wrist. Hey, Abbott, what have you got in that big bottle?
Champagne. That's Mum's.
All that champagne is Mum?
Certainly.
Brother, will your mum be loaded tonight?
No, Costello. It's Mum's champagne. That's the best kind. When you open the cork, pop.
The champagne is Mum, and the cork pops? That's right. That's a pretty picture. Mum gets all the champagne, and Pop winds up with the cork.
Look, why didn't you come to my house tonight, Costello?
Not me, Abbott. I remember your party last year. What games we played? Drawing pictures, and then...
Hey, wait a minute. Remember how I drew a picture of a taxi cab on the wall?
Yeah, and at 4 o'clock, we all got in it and drove home?
Look, will you keep quiet, Costello? That's enough from you. Give my friend here a chance at the microphone.
I'd like to bring you greetings and best wishes, too, from some men you ought to know. There's Jim Anderson up in San Francisco, George Clay, Los Angeles, Daniel Brenning in Walnut, California, and A.W. Thornton out in Ontario. And then, too, there's Herman Geldo Apodaco in Cucamonga and another Los Angeles man, Everett L. Miller. Who are they? Well, they're some of the new PDQ independent dealers, some automotive experts, men who operate their own filling stations, who've decided that PDQ has the quality, the reputation, and the value they insist on giving their customers. That's why these new PDQ dealers, like so many before them, have decided to stake their personal business success on the PDQ name. We're proud to welcome these men into the PDQ family. More and more independent dealers are selecting PDQ as the gasoline to sell. For these men know that what's good for your car is good for their business. And they know that motorists get more for their money when they fill up with PDQ. And now, Abbott and Costello.
Costello, put that gun down. What's the idea of bringing that gun into the studio?
Oh, that ain't a real revolver, Abbott. It's a cigarette lighter. I'll tell you how it works. I'll put the cigar in my mouth, and when I pull the trigger, it will light my cigar.
Now, you'd better be careful. That's a pretty short cigar. Watch out for your nose.
Don't worry. Oh, well, things don't smell too good around here anyway.
Talk sense. What's the idea of having that big piece of mistletoe pin on your hat? Christmas is through.
Yes, but I ain't.
Yeah. You idiot. The old year passes out in just a few hours.
And you'll be far behind it.
Oh, cut that out.
Last year, you beat it by 8 lengths.
Costello, what's that you've got on your hand?
It's a New Year's card from Fibber McGee.
What does it say?
I don't know. You have to wax it 3 times a day for 3 months before the message comes out. That's it? Oh, continue. Thank you. What are you made up for, Abbott? What's that thing you're wearing?
Oh, it's a sport coat my wife gave me for Christmas.
I thought it was a little too short for a bathrobe.
You don't guard yourself. You look tired, Lou.
I am tired. The bus was so crowded I had to stand up all the way into Hollywood.
You did?
Yes, my legs got so numb I had to pinch them to see if they were mine.
Is that so?
Yep, my case comes up tomorrow.
Well, that's no excuse for being late. Costello, what takes you so long to get here every week? What do you do in the morning?
Oh, Abbott, I'm a busy man. I'll give you a brief outline of a day in the life of Lou Costello. At 6 o'clock, my alarm clock rings. I jump up and shut it off. I said I shut it off. I said I shut it off! Yeah, but I know we're trying to keep down the budget on the show, but I think we could afford a better alarm clock.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Quietly, I open the door of my room. Quickly, I close it, come back in the room.
What happened?
I forgot to dress. After I finished dressing, I opened the door again.
What's the idea of all those locks and bolts on the door?
I can't be too careful, Abbott. There's a gorgeous red-headed bubble dancer lives across the hall from me.
And you put all those locks and bolts on your door?
No, she did.
Oh, continue. Go ahead.
Well, I don't want to disturb anybody, so I tiptoed down the hall. I'm wearing my heavy underwear, you know. Now I sneak down the back stairs.
What happened?
There's no back stairs. I step outside into a typically beautiful California day. I forgot there was a slight fog.
All right, then what did you do?
I strolled leisurely down the street, tipping my hat to the left and right. I pick up about $8 that way every morning.
Costello, you'd make a perfect mate for an idiot.
Thanks, Abbott, but you'll have to ask my mother first.
Costello, are you going to turn over a new leaf this year?
After this year, I won't say any more nasty things behind your back.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Hereafter, I'm going to say them right to your face. And another thing, I'm giving up drinking hard liquor.
You dummy, you don't drink hard liquor.
I know, that's what makes it easy to give it up.
Hello, boys.
Well, it's Susan Miller.
Hello, Susan. How are you? You look
fine.
lovely tonight. Would you give me a kiss?
Well, I might give you a good, innocent kiss.
A what?
A good, innocent kiss? Don't you know what good, innocent kisses are?
No. What good are they?
Well, never mind that. Why don't you take Susan to the Rose Bowl tomorrow, Costello? Come on.
Oh, no, thanks.
Oh, all right. Don't go to the game with me.
That's no way to talk, Costello. After all, they only hold the Rose Bowl game one day a year.
Yes, and I found out why. Why? It takes the other 364 days to get home.
Oh, it isn't that crowded, Louis.
Oh, no. 2 years ago, the people were packed in so tight that the girl next to me fainted. I picked her up in my arms and started for the exit.
Yes?
Yes. 2 first aid men rushed over to me and said, "We'll take her." I says, "Oh, no, you don't. There's more in there. Go in and get your own."
Well, see what you've done? She'll never go with you, Tom.
Well, I'm going alone anyway, Abbott. I wouldn't miss that Rose Bowl game for anything. You know, my whole family are football players.
They are?
Oh, sure. My oldest brother was a fullback, and my youngest brother was a tackle. And when I was born, my mother looked at me and said, "Pop, this is the end."
Costello, I don't think you ever played football.
Oh, no? I was captain of the Cucamonga Washwomen. We were a scrub team.
That must have been some football team.
I'll say it was. We had the cutest little redhead cheerleader. Every Saturday when a game started, I would grab that little cheerleader and run down the field.
Grab the cheerleader?
Yeah.
You're supposed to grab the ball.
You grab what you like, and I'll grab what I like.
So I'll ask you a few questions about football. Now, what team has the best line?
Michigan.
All right. Who has the best offensive?
Theo Plenty.
No. Who has the best offensive?
Georgia Tech.
And who has the best back?
Eddie Lamar.
Costello, pay attention. Now, let's say you're in a game. The opening gun is fired, and the fullback kicks off. What do you do?
I put on my Dick Tracy bag and grab the guy who fired the gun.
What for?
You just said that some guy fired a gun and the fullback kicked off. I know a murder when I see one.
Oh, forget him. Now, the team springs into action. The captain fades back to make a pass.
That's a pretty sight. One of his best friends just kicked off, and this guy starts a crap game.
Please pay attention. Now they're in formation. The ball is snapped from center, and the quarterback makes a hole in the left guard.
This is terrible. First, the fullback kicks off. Now somebody put a hole through the left guard. Abbott, call the FBI. Get the Lone Ranger. Get Jane Russell.
What do you want with Jane Russell?
You get her. I'll think of something.
Costello, keep your mind on the football game now. Now the halfback tries a line plunge and loses 2 feet.
And I suppose nobody worries about that either.
Certainly not. What's 2 feet to the halfback?
Well, I guess if he had to, he could run through the rest of the game on his knees.
Don't worry. On the next play, he gets those 2 feet back. And probably a couple of more.
It'll have 4 feet.
Certainly.
Brother, is he in trouble?
What do you mean?
Have you tried to buy shoes lately?
There's a game going on. Look. Time has just been called. The players are refreshing themselves from the water bucket.
What's so funny?
The tackle just stumbled and kicked the bucket.
How can you stand there laughing when these poor fellows are out there dying like flies?
Let's get on with the game. They're calling timeout again. Looks like trouble.
Uh-oh. What's the matter now?
One of the fellows just sprained his little finger, and his teammates are worried. This is serious.
This is serious? So far, 3 guys have been slaughtered and nobody says a word. All of a sudden, some sissy sprains his little finger. Everybody's running for the doctor.
Wait a minute. The opposing team left the ball unguarded, and the end runs out and falls on the ball. Now the referee is running out. He's jumping up and down, waving his arms. That means the ball is dead.
That did it, Abbott. I didn't say nothing when you said that the guy fired that gun and the poor fullback kicked off. I held back my tears when the quarterback stabbed a hole into the left guard. I only sniffled a little when the halfback lost his 2 feet, and I tried to be brave when that tackle kicked the bucket. But when you stand there and tell me that the poor little ball is dead, you have not only blackened the fair name of football, but you have cast aspersions on the clean American sport of parcheesi, croquet, dominoes, not to mention skip the rope. There'll be more hijinks in a minute, folks, but first, a few remarks on another subject.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we pause in the midst of this gay hilarity to bring you word of the late, the scientific, the interesting, and instructive aspect of what learned men of many leading institutions have called the internal combustion motor, and you. Step in closer, please. Give those in the chance in the rear chance to hear. Now, you, sir, is your tank low? Not you, Lou, the man in the purple coupe. Very well, sir. I have here an object that is 5,280 feet long. It's called a mile. You will find 2 to 6 of these miles. Extra ones, you understand, in each and every gallon of PDQ gasoline you buy. In the untutored mind, it is a feat of most uncommon magic that so many, many long and happy miles of motoring can be put into the small space of a single tank full of PDQ. But, get the windshield, too, Lou. Scientific tests have shown time and again that the miracle men of PDQ have harnessed the energy of petroleum to give you more for your dollar. Don't take my word for it. Don't strain, feel, sniff, taste, or listen for those extra PDQ miles. Just put a tank full in your car and watch. Observe closely, and you shall see the extra PDQ mileage on your own speedometer. Not an advertising stunt, not a special offer, but a bona fide transaction between you and the independent PDQ dealer. PDQ gas is sold during the performance and afterwards at your neighborhood PDQ station. Kindly remain in your seats now for the Abbott and Costello Show.
And now, here is vivacious Susan Miller with Matty Malnick and the orchestra.
Don't get yourself in a sweat. When things look gray, just shrug and say, it must have been from my ex. So if your temper's getting a top hand, all you gotta do is just stop and pass that tea type, bury that hat. She'd like to talk, chicken sauce, chatter, hoochie dipper was you. If you're feeling